Yeah.
I'm sad.
It's okay, buddy.
I'm sad.
It's okay. All right, so yes, this week was the week that we took the L. Final score was Chiefs 21, Buffalo Bills 30.
Before you jump into stats,
Yeah.
First feelings, like initial reaction. How did that, like, what were you feeling in that moment?
Like initial reaction, I wasn't as heartbroken. I will tell you, I would have been probably a lot more frustrated if we would have lost to Broncos last week than this game. Just because of, on paper, Broncos shouldn't be competing with us like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know I wasn't here to talk about it last week, but that's just my initial feeling.
Yep.
And, Buffalo, they're, even though that game was very winnable for us, Buffalo is a tough team.
Yep.
And I mean, I think after that game, before this game, I think, 4-1 in the regular season with Josh Allen and
so
Patrick
this is the
Mahomes.
fourth straight year they've beat us in the regular season.
Yeah. And so, with that happening, just playing against Buffalo Bills, it's been tough in the regular season. And I think the big daunting thing for Buffalo is, like, we can't beat them in the postseason.
Yep.
But, we can't, history can repeat itself, but we can't just focus on what things have been on in history for that to happen again if we see each other in the postseason this year.
Yep.
But my initial reaction was I wasn't too upset about the loss to losing to Buffalo. I was probably a little more upset of just like, man, that game was winnable for us with just a few little plays that we make that, that game is very winnable for us. And so I think that was the only thing I was really kind of frustrated. But I really wasn't heartbroken, over losing to the Bills because that's a team, that they're a good team. Like, let's believe it or not, they're a good team.
And my thing is, I feel you learn a lot more when you lose to a good team than when you lose to a bad team.
Sure.
Because when you lose to a bad team,
you're just like,
I feel like
happened?
there's a lot of luck involved in that. You know what I mean? When you lose to a good team, you have the ability to actually see what the good team was doing to beat you and address it, right?
Yep.
So, it was Bills were without a couple of starters, but, we learned a lot about our defensive backs.
Yeah.
Learned a lot about our defensive backs. We learned a lot about our receivers, right? Good and bad, right? Let's go ahead and hit the stats, man.
Yeah. So, on the opposing team, Josh Allen, he went 27-40, 262. Only one touchdown. One throwing touchdown, and then he had the one rush touchdown, and he had an interception. The big key here, though, is it was 0 sacks. 0 sacks. There was a couple moments where we could have had him. Chris Jones just had him right there, and he kind of slipped away from him. But we didn't get any sacks. And, although there was some few pressures there, we just really didn't get the pressure like, we have been in the past 2 years, really. And I mean, I don't know, but their offensive line was picking up the blitzes really well. They planned their game well to handle the blitz with, dropping a running back there, whatever. But Josh Allen, really, highlighting their team again. Their lead running back only had 20 yards, a couple touchdowns, but Josh Allen led the rushing attack, and he's tough to break down sometimes, to bring down. And so he hurt us with his legs, which, a lot of times against us, he uses his legs a lot. So, we struggle a little bit there.
I mean, and you can think we're tied for 27th in the league in sacks right now.
Yeah.
We only have 19 sacks on the season.
Right.
We're averaging less than 2 sacks a game right now, and that's not how you win games, man.
Yeah.
You got to be able to wrap up with with quarterbacks, especially like a mobile cornerback.
Yep.
We lost contain a lot. We did lose contain a lot. So.
Yeah. Hey, big highlight though, right here. I'll just point it before we get into some other stuff. Dawson Knox, their tight end, had 4 catches for 40 yards.
Hey man,
I don't
we
know.
didn't
I
let
think
them
probably
blow up. But.
Yeah, the only game that we held the tight end maybe under 50 yards or something.
Right.
Because tight ends have torched us. And so,
well, and then we allowed him. So. But then we allowed 3 receivers to have over 50 yards.
Yep. So, but Shakira, he had a decent game. Curtis Samuel. I mean, Mark Cooper he only had 2 catches that were, huge catches in moments of the game. That's there. So let's get over to the boys. Patrick Mahomes, 23 for 33, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 picks and sacked twice.
And now I call that
interception was.
I don't count the last one. And honestly, that last one was just a really good defensive play.
Yeah.
No, like a handful of linebackers in the league are making that catch.
It was a tough throw.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelsey.
Well,
it was a tough throw.
It would have hit Kelsey. But you got to think that that linebacker is fully extended to catch that ball running full speed.
Yeah.
Most linebackers are not making that play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that one's just a good play on the defensive or on the linebacker. And realistic, when the last play of a game is an interception, I almost feel like it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of funny because what was it the first throw of the game? And then his last throw of the game?
Yeah.
Or interceptions.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So, but yeah, he did get 3 touchdowns. And sack a couple times. So again, not necessarily the cleanest, obviously for him, to where especially that first drive, We're cruising. We're cruising on that first. Well, not cruising, but we had a few plays. We get Worthy the ball a couple times there, and then we have the interception, which Mahomes has made that kind of falling pass. It was just
he aired it. It was too much air.
Yeah, and the guy was wide open. He had a guy wide open.
Yep.
So again, like talking about within this loss, like some of those plays, just like we got to have it because we've seen it. We've made those plays before, know. So Patrick Mahomes, obviously not, his cleanest game. In big moments, he, in the fourth quarter, you did see, pick up steam a little bit for a touchdown. Just like, man, you wish to see some of that, like in the third quarter, some of that consistency there that we picked up a little more, especially when our defense has stopped them and we get the ball back. So that's just a little frustrating there. So Kareem Hunt, 14 carries for 60 yards, no touchdowns this game. He didn't get in his 20 plus carries. I think probably in some moments we could have gave him the ball a little more, but sometimes the dynamic of the game changes a little bit.
Well, we only had 50 offensive plays.
Yeah.
Time of possession was big, and Bills carried time of possession there. What was the let me pull up the team stats real quick. But Bills dominated time of possession, which did not allow for us to really run the ball like we would probably have wanted to. So when you look at time of possession, Bills 34 to Chiefs 26.
Yeah.
So we were trailing on time of possession the whole time. We only had, I think, 8 drives? Was it 8 drives? I can't remember. It was like 8 or 9 drives. We had 9 drives. Right, they had 10 because they controlled the ball so much.
Yeah,
when you don't get many drives, you got to capitalize on them. You know what I mean?
Yes, you do. So. You do. And so, again, still though, those 60 yards. I mean, he averaged 4.3 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean, he was running the ball well.
He ran hard, and he has been running the ball really well. In the receiving side, so Xavier Worthy, 4 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown. He also had a carry for 1 yard, 1 carry for 7 yards.
The one thing I don't like about these stats is he did not touch the ball again after his touchdown.
Yeah. We started off, the kind of first quarter, I guess a little bit of second, looking to give him the ball. But then kind of really touched the ball, 5 times overall, and we looked to get him the ball. And we dropped off getting him the ball after the play where he's seen wide open. Mahomes airs it out, going to the sideline, and Worthy is seen going up. And before he had the ball, it's so weird. But before he had the ball, he slides his foot as if he has the ball to get the 2 feet in, but he didn't have the ball yet.
I feel like he thought the ball was coming a little quicker. You know what I mean?
So,
but like in that moment, you gotta kind of do what CeeDee Lamb did last night, right? You gotta like possess the ball and stab your feet, right?
Yeah.
You gotta stutter the feet, like so. Maybe like chop the feet to like slow yourself down, and then just stab the feet when you've seen George Pickens struggle with that past couple of weeks, But I mean, again, it's his first year in the league. I'm pretty sure college fields are wider than NFL fields.
Well, they get and no necessarily need 1 foot. So,
so I mean, it's an adjustment. He hasn't got the ball a lot this year, and this is around the time when Rashid Rice last year really turned it on. He had a couple good games before that, but like mid-season is where he really turned it on, and hopefully we can see that from. This is just a glimpse of what he can do. He took that big hit across the middle, and held onto the ball. Yeah. I thought he was dead. Yeah, like on the field.
I think everybody did.
As soon as the contact happened, I was like, he's not getting back up because it was a hard hit. He was running full speed catching that ball, and then he just ran right into that corner or the safety, and. Man, he got up. He did his little thing, making sure not to point
for first down.
Yeah, making sure not to point the fingers.
Yeah,
but full hands. I don't even know what that means, but I like it. Yeah, it's kind of dope. But
definitely something we got to clean up there because there's been several games where that's happened with this footing, and of course, Mahomes and Reed. Mahomes, took the blame upon himself of just he. Should have let him more field.
Well, and if he leads him upfield, he's wide. That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
If he puts that like 2 yards inside, Xavier Worthy can adjust his direction to go upfield. Like that's a touchdown all day. Yeah, now maybe if Worthy was running directly towards the sideline on the route, so maybe if Worthy's route was a little more. Slanted, like diagonal upfield. Maybe Mahomes does put that there. So that's just like really, I think it's a like a mesh thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a comfortability thing, and they gotta work that out. And if there's a time to find it out and lose, it's a time to do it against like a really good team.
Yeah.
I mean, we still scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We had an opportunity for more. There was a couple times where guys had their toes tripped up where really they could have had touchdowns, if they were broke. That one Kareem Hunt run, like he barely got clipped on the I thought he was gone.
Yeah.
But
it was 70 yards, I believe that run was.
Yep.
But yeah, that's something definitely got to clean up, regardless of, the ball, maybe not more directly to him. You still got to help your quarterback out, and you got to make those plays when they're there. And, it's just something to get mentally through of just like, getting the ball, understanding, where I'm at on the field and getting those feet down. Obviously, Mahomes, he can get a better crisp pass to you, but you gotta make those tough plays. Which one of his catches, he had a tough play. Big catch down the field when he went up and got it.
Yep.
And so that was a great contested, great catch. So just in those moments, capitalize on that because here's the thing, this is like I was talked about regarding this game was very winnable at that time. We it's 14-13.
Yep.
At that time, we get that play. Hypothetically, we know it didn't happen. Mahomes gets it to him a little, where he can catch and run,
Yep.
which would have been a touchdown for sure, and I think
Yep.
everybody would agree. We're up 21-13 right there.
Yep.
The dynamic of the game changes.
Well, and then they potentially don't have the opportunity to go down and score a field goal before half.
Because we ended up punting
Right.
on that, and we
Yep.
punted pretty. I mean, what was we? We was, I don't know, 30-yard line. I don't know, 20,
Yep.
something or whatever. And we punted, and which the guy, the punt returner, took it back across the 50, maybe 45 or something like that.
Yep.
So a great return. I'm telling you, the dynamic at that point in the game, very much different.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Momentum is such a big
the
thing.
crowd.
People underestimate how much momentum really affects games.
Yeah.
But football really is a momentum game, right? Morale is like how you feel, like your mood, like that really does affect games, right? When a guy, look what's going on in Dallas, man. Like everybody's like, there's turmoil. There's people like getting mad at each other.
After every play, there
After-
like certain plays. I mean, you got the receiver looking at the quarterback,
Right.
The head coach just like,
Right.
the pressure of things.
Well, and you could see, like, there's a couple times Travis Kelce today. I say today, there was 2 balls thrown his way he didn't catch. And you can see him kind of shake his head, but he's addressed that. And he said he's more mad at himself for not making those plays than he is like at the fact that the ball's not getting to him. Like the touchdown last week, that would have been a touchdown in the fourth quarter against the Broncos. Travis said he was more mad he didn't get his feet under him to jump up and get that ball, because in his mind that's a catchable ball.
Yeah.
And so he's more frustrated than himself. He understands that he can do better. And the thing I love about our team is we hold ourselves accountable, right? Everybody blames, hey, this is like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do that. As a team, we kind of got to do better, but I can do my part. This is what I got to do. And that's kind of the whole mindset behind it. When we talk about other teams, we talk about how good the other team is, what they do well. We don't be like, no, we're not Jamar Chase and like, nothing scares me. Nothing, no, like, when you're playing good teams, especially even when you're playing bad teams should scare you. They got nothing to lose, right? So if you don't address them the proper way, you're going to lose. And then, you come into that where just those tiny things, like you were saying, don't go our way. We don't make that little play. Realistically, he's out by a couple of inches, right? Yeah. Xavier Worthy on that sideline. DeAndre Hopkins had a pass, that great one-handed grab on the sideline, out by a couple of inches. You know what I mean? It's just those. It really, football's a game of inches.
Even when he went up and went up for it and almost came down with that.
Oh
tough
my
catch.
gosh!
He gave it a chance for sure.
DeAndre Hopkins, I will continue to say this, is the best midseason signing the Chiefs have ever had.
Yeah.
Mid-season.
It was great.
Mid-season. Like, I'm not saying, like, best signing we've ever had. Free agency, that'd be something different. But mid-season signing, I don't know if there's one better.
Yeah.
Challenge me in the comments, man. Tell me if there's somebody better. But, yeah, it's we're close. We're close on a lot of these things to be that high-powered offense we used to be.
Yeah. The touchdown that we seen in the fourth quarter, and I think it took, 3-4 minutes, I don't know, something like that, and how we moved the ball so well. That's just the more consistency that we want to see. Because we know it's there. We know that we can make that happen, and it's there. And Noah Gray, he had a great game. He had 2 touchdowns on the day for 4 catches, 23 yards. Justyn Watson had a couple nice plays. Even the catches that D-Hop did have. So these guys are looking to make plays. It's just that against some of these good teams, we got to be able to capitalize on certain ways because again. Like it said, the game, sometimes it's a game of inches, and there's different moments that swing the game. It's so funny that One of their touchdowns, the one that Curtis Samuel, I see running. You seen who was it? Collins or Holland? Sorry, Matt Collins.
Yep.
Come across. He had Najee Johnson. Here's the thing: we could all sit and point at and be like, the refs missed that call and whatever. But we're still looking at the moment of like, yeah, well, that was a point in the game. But we look at these other moments of the game that happens that could have went some way or the other that still helps determine,
Right.
the outcome of the game. And it's so funny because, after that, even in just the Chiefs fan base, no one was going to social media and different things blowing up about the missed this call, missed that, or whatever.
Well,
I would say that if it was the Chiefs in that way, oh man, everybody would be blowing up about how the refs helped the Chiefs win.
People would be going crazy, right? And a lot of times you see these guys, like a lot of people complaining about calls when it's against the Chiefs, but they don't complain about calls when it's against other teams.
Yeah, because
they get similar calls
Yeah.
against other teams. Like, why are the Bengals 5-6 or
Yeah.
4-6 or whatever it is? Bad calls went against them in other games too. But it's those things where it's you have the realization that there are 100 plays or so in a game, right? And one call by a referee isn't what dictates the game.
And understand they're going to miss calls.
Yeah.
Like, even though I was upset about it, I moved on from it because there's just missed calls in the game, and it's going to be that.
Yep.
But that, maybe sure some of those missed calls are at crucial moments, but still, that one call doesn't determine the outcome of the game. When you look at, what if Worthy catches that ball, run up the field? What if last week, the score would have been a different score that we get
Travis Kelce gets the touchdown.
Just all these different things that is just a part of the game that there's going to miss calls. There's missed calls in every sport.
Every sport in every game.
Yes.
Every sport, every game.
Yeah. There's going to be that.
Maybe not tennis.
Yeah,
They've got replay.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They've got
pretty good mark.
Dude, that the graphics they have for tennis, like for the ball hitting the line, that's kind of crazy because that's instant. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how they do that.
Yeah,
Anyways.
we get that in football. No, but yeah.
Right.
So again, a different little plays, some different things happen, and who knows what that game is looking like.
Yeah.
Defensively,
Before you do it, my big No, go ahead. I'll talk about it afterwards.
All right. I would say defensively. I would say defensively. Let me say overall, probably what obviously wasn't our best performance, and the fact that we didn't get any sacks.
Right.
Our secondary did. We struggled within our secondary. Connor, who's played extremely well, he had a few just mishaps in the game.
He missed several open field tackles.
Yeah.
Where it's just like over pursuit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't wait for the defender to make the move. He just commits one way. And I say the defender he doesn't wait for the offensive player to make the move. And then so he commits and the offensive player's waiting for him to make the move. And then they wind up getting an extra 5, 6, 7 yards.
Yeah. So, again, our secondary, we understood, wasn't the best game. We didn't get any sacks. Man, even that one moment, that play that Josh Allen had that run in the fourth quarter. I mean, Karlaftis is seen swiping, and he's so close.
So close.
That, who knows if he gets that elbow, if the ball comes out, whatever.
Right.
It was like so close.
Yep.
And that was the game, a lot of the game for us. We were so close on moments. And
and I think once he got past the first down, I think there was confusion on whether we wanted to tackle him or not.
Sure, yeah.
Because you think about it, if he gets the first down, goes down, game's over, right? They can kneel out the ball because we don't have enough timeouts to call. So by him scoring the touchdown, it's 2 possessions, but you go down and score a quick touchdown, get an onside kick with a backup kicker. Yeah. Like, who knows? Who knows what happens? Yeah. But, it's just a lot of confusion during the game.
Yep. And so, defensively, but then again, in the third quarter, we got a shutout. They didn't score anything. That's where there was most punts in the game. I think there was like 4 punts in a row come within that third quarter. And so, again, there were some things that we definitely didn't do well, but obviously they made some stops. We just didn't capitalize offensively. So again, both sides of the ball where we've seen just not, just making some of those key plays that kind of determined the game in this in a game like this. On that last play, here was the crazy thing is, when you break down the play and you look at it, I'm sure the play that Buffalo Bills drew up was to beat a man coverage. We was in zone, so then, it did kind of throw them off a little bit. But then the next thing was we didn't have a quarterback spot. I'm not sure. It's kind of like Mahomes, in the playoffs last year. We had that 4th down, and Mahomes is I got a couple. He actually had a couple options to throw the ball, and he ran it for the first down. Those quarterbacks in those big moments, you can see Lamar Jackson do it. The ball is in
sometimes doing it. Lamar Jackson,
the ball is in their hands, and they're like, I'm going to make this play. And and Josh Allen, he's notorious for that. Again, that's why we all are like, man, But listen, that just shows that we're not perfect. Coach is not perfect. Players aren't perfect. And it was just, we just want to see him play better. And there's just some things we got to clean up. We definitely got to clean up in the secondary. Najee Johnson, man, he had a tough game.
So the stats were 12 targets thrown at Najee Johnson. 9 of them were caught for 103 yards, a touchdown. And Josh Allen throwing at Najee Johnson had a 128 passer rating. That's a rough game, man. That's a rough game.
Very.
So
man, we can't have that.
Can't have that.
One of the a secondary player that's playing a lot of reps.
Well, in Najee Johnson, I think, is better than that stat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's better than that
We were
stat line.
excited to get him back.
Yeah.
This year.
But I think Najee Johnson plays better when he's coming in and filling in. I feel like the number of minutes that he played, it's kind of taking a toll on him, a little bit. The being able to rotate when we had Jalen Watson in, really it makes you realize how good Jalen Watson really is.
Yeah.
So
especially for stepping in for losing Snead. Jalen Watson.
But
so
anyway, I think we'll come back from this.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing. Like Patrick Mahomes said in this presser, it's the undefeated thing is cool, but that's not our ultimate goal.
Right.
Our ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, get that 3-peat, and still remain the best team in the NFL.